guys, welcome back to my channel. This is The Missing and I'm Ariane. And if you're new, this channel is dedicated to my Uncle Mark, who went missing in 2001. We have still been looking for him and have found no leads. So if you recognize him, please email lovedonesmissing@gmail.com or leave a comment below. If you are new, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to know so you are notified when I update and upload new videos. If you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded. I do apologize for the inconsistency. Life has been a little crazy, and you know how life is. We'll keep it real. I've got 7 kids, a husband, a job, a house that's old and needs a lot more love than we anticipated it would need. We've been doing updates and remodels, and then our bathroom decided to throw up water, so we had to remodel that. Work's been crazy, bunch of updates. We've had sick kids, and we've had family things, and it's just been nuts. And then, I've gone to the doctor, and I've had blood work done, and I knew I was fat, but my doctor let me know again that I was fat, so, got to try to get better and eat healthier, and life is crazy, and I know you guys understand because you guys all live a crazy life as well. So without further ado, we'll get into our next case, and this is the case of Brian Shaffer. Brian Shaffer was a Ohio State University college student. Brian was born February 25th of 1979. Brian went missing on March 31st of 2006. At the time of his disappearance, he was attending Ohio State University. He was attending their College of Medicine. Brian grew up in Ohio, and he was the oldest of 2 boys. He graduated high school in 1997, and from there decided to attend Ohio State, where he graduated with a degree in microbiology. After getting his degree in microbiology in 2004, he began attending their School of Medicine. And by the time 2006 hit, Brian had met somebody, had fallen in love, and it was thought that on this big trip that they had planned to Miami for spring break, Brian would be proposing. Now, on March 31st of 2006, Brian was excited that it was spring break. He had this trip coming up, and so on that particular day, he decided to head out to celebrate spring break with some friends at a local bar that they frequented in the area. Brian and his friends, it was said they had a good time. There was no arguments, nothing out of the ordinary, other than the fact that Brian did get separated from his friend through the course of the night. This was not alarming to them, and it did not set off any red flags. They just figured that, they would meet up with him when the bar closed, and they would all head home. When the bar closed, Brian's friends said that they waited outside, and Brian never came out of the bar. After waiting for a while and realizing that everybody had left the bar at this point, they decided that he must have either got tired or drank too much and that he headed home, and they figured it was not a big deal, that they would speak to him over the weekend, and so they also went home. Over the course of the weekend, Brian's friends would reach out to him on numerous occasions, and Brian did not answer his phone, nor did he call anybody back. This still was not alarming due to the fact that on Monday, he and his girlfriend were set to leave for their trip to Miami, and so I'm sure his friends just figured, they're packing, they're getting ready, it's busy, not a big deal. When Monday came and Brian was to leave for Miami with his girlfriend, Brian missed his flight. At that point, all red flags were flying high, and Brian was reported missing. When the police began their investigation, of course, they spoke to Brian's family, and Brian's father had let them know that he had seen Brian the day that he went missing, and that nothing seemed out of the ordinary. He was excited to celebrate spring break, he was excited for his trip, and he had told his father of his plans to go out that evening. Now, there was one thing that stood out to Brian's father, and that was the fact that his friend William Florence was going to be going. And I believe you say his last name Florence. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. Brian's dad said that this made him uneasy. He didn't like the idea that this guy was going, but he also told police that he did not share his feelings with Brian. As we all know, if you're a parent, you can tell your kids a million times how you feel about something, and it doesn't always mean they're going to listen. And I'm sure he felt Brian was an adult and he knew what he was doing, and so he kept his feelings to himself about this particular friend. Brian's friends would tell police, that there was nothing out of the ordinary. They too said he was looking forward to his trip. Nothing had happened that evening that caused alarm. They did share that Brian's mother had passed away in 2006, but that although he was struggling and it was very hard on him, it didn't set off any types of alarms that Brian was in any type of distress or wanted to run away or hurt himself or anything. Nothing from that situation would lead any of his friends or family to believe that it would have anything to do with his disappearance. Police would pull security footage from the bar that night, and they discovered that on the security footage at about 1:15 a.m., Brian was seen walking out of the bar and talking with two young females. The footage did not appear to show any type of altercation between them or any type of, apprehension on Brian's part or the girls' part. They spoke for a little bit, and then Brian headed back into the bar. Upon reviewing the rest of the security footage, they would find that Brian never came out of the bar. They did take a look at the bar. They said there was no other exits for Brian to take. They reviewed footage because it was thought, well, maybe did he change his clothes? Did he put on a disguise? Did he put a hat on? And they never found anything in the footage that led them to believe that he had left with a disguise of some sort, or that he had in fact left the bar at all. At 1:15 a.m., he's seen outside talking to two females, and I don't know about the bars in Ohio, but where I'm from, bars typically close around 2 a.m. That's 45-minute difference. So in 45 minutes, he went from talking to two people outside to completely disappearing. The cops would search a 6-block radius with dogs and would find nothing. They never found a shoe, a piece of clothing, blood, a wallet. There was no evidence of his whereabouts whatsoever at all. All of Brian's friends that had been at the bar that night all cooperated with police. They took polygraph tests, except for one. One friend didn't take a polygraph test. One friend to this day still has not taken a polygraph test, and that was the friend that his father was uneasy about him going with. Now, I could not find anywhere why this particular friend made his father uneasy, or if he and Brian had some sort of disagreement in the past. But for whatever reason, his dad was uneasy with the idea of this person being there, and this person is the only person who has not taken a polygraph or cooperated completely. Now, Mr. Florence's lawyer would go on to say that they believed that Brian was alive, and that the reason his client would not take a polygraph test is because they believed Brian was alive, and they felt that Brian owed it to his family to come out of hiding and tell his family where his whereabouts are and what he's been doing, that they believe Brian is the cause of all of his family's stress and sadness, and that he's the one who needed to come forward and tell his family what's been going on, and that's why Mr. Florence will not take a polygraph test. Could he have went into hiding? Yeah, I'm sure they find people all the time who live double lives. I find it very hard in my mind to wrap my brain around the fact that here's a young man who has gotten a degree, who's completing medical school, who is by all accounts looking to start a future with somebody he loves, who is excited for a trip, who is ready to celebrate spring break. He's just gonna walk away from it all in one night, just throw it all away, just go into hiding after his family's already suffered the loss of his mother. He would just walk away from them. I find that very hard to believe, but I mean, I guess it's possible. Absolutely. I would encourage all of you to please take a look at these pictures. If you have any information on Brian Shaffer's whereabouts, you can email lovedonesmissing@gmail.com. You can comment below, or you can contact the phone numbers on the missing persons flat flyer. Keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. If you know something, say something. The littlest bit of information may be a giant break in a case. If you have the power to save somebody, if you have the power to save a family from heartache, bring closure and peace, do it. This person deserves to be home with this family. This family deserves to know what happened to their loved one. As always, have a wonderful and blessed Sunday, and thank you for being here.